Hi, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 49th episode of Let's Talk About Market. We had spoken this in Friday's trading session that the Nifty index is coming back to the 40-hour exponential average. So, that will act as an important support. And if we see from there, the Nifty index has been bouncing back. And one important thing today that is happening is that we are seeing some, bit of broadening of breadth. So, wherein small and mid caps today are also, making a good comeback. And in fact, there are a lot of sectors that are sectors you say or stocks that are hitting new 52-week high. So let's analyze, what's going on and where is it that we are seeing some opportunities. So let me quickly share my screen, and someone can please confirm if they are able to hear me properly and if they are able to see my screen. Okay. Can someone please confirm in the chat box if they are able to hear me properly and see my screen? Okay. Thanks, Paul. Yes. Thanks for the confirmation, guys. When you look at the Nifty index, so this is what precisely I was talking about in Friday's trading session, where we had seen some bit of negative divergence developing on RMI, and the prices were rising higher. And once the 20 hour was broken, that's where we ended up seeing the cycle getting complete and RMI also coming back to the zero line, and lower band and 40 moving average, so these two were at the same point, and typically those act as a very, very good support level for the Nifty index, and Nifty has respected that and it is trying to now bounce back. So this is a good sign. Now in terms of upside level, if I want to see, where is it that the next leg of up move can happen. So over here, what I would have to do is draw a channel for me to get an upside level, right? Let me extend if I can see if there are any other points. Okay, no, fine. So over here, see, there can be different ways of drawing channels. Someone might draw like this and put a lower channel over here. That is fine. So because I think that the low is established over here, so I'm connecting two lows and trying to find where is it that the upper end of the level is, right? So that in the near term would come to around 23,000, 26,350 or so. And the good part is that we are now seeing a bullish crossover on the RMI. So I think this hour at 11:15 this candle will get confirmed of a bullish crossover. So then the expectation will be that the low that we made on Friday, which was of 25,807, that will be an important support level. And if it does not break, then on the upside, we should be headed higher to 26,350. Now, as I was telling you, so we had also spoken about Bank Nifty, right? Bank Nifty was also at an important support level. So over here also, we had seen a similar pattern, prices pulling back to the 40. It broke 40 for a while, but again now it has made a strong comeback and it is rising higher. So again, this is a good sign. And what we are seeing now is mid cap and small cap also trying to join the party. So over here, if you see in mid cap, it is nicely rising higher in a channel, right? So over here also, if we go by this channel, then it is expected to inch higher towards the 6100 mark. And if I'm not wrong, somewhere over here is the all-time high as well. So just to give you a context, the all-time high is 6925. So somewhere around there is what it is pointing out. But this week, what is going to happen? In fact, the bullish crossover, we have seen it 2 weeks back only in the mid cap index, and uh, so over here also now mid cap index is at a resistance level, but I think this resistance sooner or later should break out on the upside. In fact, this week, it is interesting. We can get this crossover. I mean, we can get this break above this resistance line, which looks more like a a cup and handle pattern at the top, and which seems to be breaking out. So we had this mini breakout, which was this, right? So Nifty mid cap index has already broken out of this. Now what we are looking at is a breakout from this medium term resistance line. Now if you see small cap index, this has been a laggard. CNX small cap. Yeah. So if you see small cap index over here, I think this week we might end up getting. In fact, still it has still not given a bullish crossover. It is still some time away. But here I think is where the opportunity is, because we have got this one breakout, which is this. So it was a breakout, then a minor pullback, and now it is trying to rise higher. And in the larger scheme of things, this breakout is still pending, right? And Nifty small cap is still some time away. And as I had been mentioning in the past couple of, in the last few sessions as well, that the small and the mid caps are the one which have not seen a move, right? But Nifty had seen a very good move in the near term. So I think this is where the opportunity is. And there is one more angle, if you see, you might understand. So let me go to the diffusion indicator, and you can see that the percentage of stock about 20 SMA is still only 60% for small cap. For mid cap, it is relatively bigger. The this number is relatively bigger, so it is 70. Okay, but over here also, if you see, there is still some more room left. If you see the mid cap index, the Nifty index, it had already hit 90, and in fact, we have started to develop some minor negative divergence over here. If you see the same figure for percentage of stock above 50 SMA, again the same thing, it's around 80. But now if you see this for mid cap 100, it's 71, and for small cap 100 it's 54, right? So over here I think there is a lot of room left. Same thing for 100 SMA. For small cap it's just 40. For mid cap, it is, I think, in mid 50s. Yeah, 56. If you see for Nifty 50, it's almost towards the upper end of the range, right? So this angle again tells us that there is meaningful room left on the upside. It's just that the Nifty index is leading right now. So we all knew that the FIs were extremely short, right? And when FIs come back, they usually buy into large cap stocks, and that is why we are seeing the large caps outperforming at this point of time. But you can see it through many other indicators like the FI short positioning, right? From almost 1,94,000, it has, they have covered and they have come to 1,06,000. In the broader scheme of things, this is still extreme oversold zones, right? So it's only when they come to around plus 40 or plus 60,000 contracts, that's where you can say that they are extremely overbought or they are reaching an extreme, right? But till then, we still have some good runway on the upside. If you see the breadth also, largely it is towards the lower end of the range, so it has to pick up, and that's where I think the opportunity lies. So everything that I see, it seems to be pointing out that the small and the mid cap should start doing well. And even if you see the Nifty mid cap, it is over here trying to make a comeback. Small cap, still a long way to go. Then I was actually seeing many sectors. So if you see PSU Bank, again over here, what is happening is that they have been outperformers and they are continuing to outperform. So there is an up move, then a consolidation, then again they rise higher. Similar thing is happening in metal also, right? Up move, consolidation, now trying to make a comeback. Nifty PSC is the one where enough consolidation has happened in the past few days, as you can see over here, and I think it should also make a good comeback. Now, couple of sectors that caught my attention was, one was Nifty Infra. Okay, because over here you can see that the breakout has already happened. There has been a pullback and now it is rising higher. Okay, so this is the one. And oil and gas also, after this up move, there was some consolidation and now that also seems to be rising higher. So that is also making a good comeback. Nifty Realty, we had spoken about this, that this was the base building and it is now trying to rise higher. So one by one, as I was highlighting earlier as well, that many of the sectors are making a comeback, and this might end up being a rotational market, where some days IT performs, some days FMCG performs, some days banks will perform, and that way maybe on the index level you might not see a big correction as such, but internally there might be rotations and there would be opportunities. Okay, so today, as I'm seeing, India VIX is rising. But I still think that maybe the journey towards 26,350 has started. I mean, in the at least in the short term, and after that maybe we end up getting some pullback and so on. All those things can happen, but at this point of time it looks like that the minor degree correction is possibly complete, and now that we are turning around from the 40-hour exponential average, it should be rising higher. So that is what the take is. Now, I know that I have repeated all these things, but there might be many other people who might be joining us live, every day, who might be new. So for them to scan, I think small and the mid caps is where I mentioned that the opportunity lies, right? So over here they can simply put this. So over here you end up getting 200 stocks, and try to find the stocks where we are getting good setups, like Ashok Leyland, a good setup, right? Up move, consolidation, pulling back to 40 and now trying to turn around. Credit Access Grameen, again it was in a range and it is now trying to break out. IGL is dead. Lalpat Lab is not that great. Oil India seems okay. Petronet seems okay. Titagar also not that great. So within this list, these two seems appears to be a bit interesting. And again, I was going through the dashboard today, and over here I could see some interesting stocks, that are hitting new 52-week high. So SBI Life is the one over here also. If you see now, if you zoom out a bit, is this a cup and handle that is forming? Needs to be seen. I mean, the chart at least looks good and it is hitting new 52-week high. So that is again positive. If you see Bharti Airtel also, nice up move, consolidation, and now again trying to rise higher. Similar thing in Shriram Finance, right? Up move, consolidation, and now trying to, break out from this sideways consolidation. SBI almost at a new all-time high. Hindalco hitting new highs. Tata Steel also hitting 52-week high. And over here also, it has seen a meaningful consolidation. So if you see the trade setup over here, it seems to be, finding the trade. Taking support of the averages and trying to rise higher. So far, we have not seen momentum, but nevertheless, the setup looks interesting. So this is the one. Then I was looking at infra, right? So infra was doing well. So over here I went to the heat map. Okay, and I was trying to see who are the components of infra. So basically, you can see over here Bharti Airtel, Godrej Property. So it is basically realty, telecom. So Reliance also comes into that. L&T, even L&T, I think we had spoken earlier, right? That it has a good setup. There is a big consolidation that has happened in L&T, right? Over here you can see, and now it is trying to break out. Even if you see the weekly, monthly charts and so on, those look interesting as well. So there are ample of opportunities, as I mentioned. So over here also, if you notice, we had spoken about MNC. So MNC is also sorry, this was hourly. So this is the MNC chart over here. Up move, consolidation, now again trying to pick up. So as I mentioned, there are a lot of sectors that are now starting to look up. There will be, move in some of them from time to time. So keep an eye on that. PSUs, as I mentioned, Nifty PSC index, that also looks interesting. So you can either find this, or if you want to simply just find which are the outperformers within those sectors, just simply go to RRG. Say in this case I'm choosing infra, and I'm seeing where is it that the opportunity lies, right? So I click over here, okay, and I get to see the RRG of all the stocks within the infra. Over here, you can choose the benchmark whether you want Nifty 50, Nifty 500, or Nifty Infra. So if I want to just check it with Nifty Infra, I'll choose the benchmark as Nifty Infra, and now here you have all the setups which are which is benchmarked with infra. So you can see that Reliance is, Reliance has got into leading, and it is now, seeing a good direction. Cummins India, Bharat Forge. So that way, you will be able to find many of the ideas when you scan through RRG, or you can simply go to scanners, RMI or Dow Trend, and you should be able to get, decent list of stocks where some movement should be happening, right? So that is it, that I would be looking out for. Mainly, I think the main trade over here would eventually be that the small and the mid caps starts picking up. So there is a case that maybe large caps slow down a bit in terms of up move, and that's where we end up, even on sideways consolidation in the Nifty index, we end up seeing movement happening in small and mid caps. I think that is where the opportunity lies, frankly, according to me. See, when these kind of things happen, the ones who are pessimistic will say that while the Nifty is rising higher, the small and the mid caps are not rising higher. And does it mean that it is a distribution? I mean, that thought is perfectly fine, but we all need data to confirm, right? At this point of time, this is more on the verge of a breakout rather than a breakdown. And when we have set up in the sentiment indicators like this, where I have shared with you those sorry so I have shared with you those templates as well, right? Of medium term setup and so on. Wait, I need to. Oh, I went into diffusion indicator and I did that. Sorry. So if you see the medium term setup over here, mostly all of them are in extreme, and they are coming out of those extreme zones, right? Be it breadth or FIS positioning or client plus FIR, or in fact even clients are actually extremely long at the bottom, and as the up move unfolds, they keep unwinding their long, and at the top they are usually short. Their shorts are usually maximum, right? And that's where we end up getting the correction. So the next leg where we should be a lot more careful is when the client plus FII reaches this point, or only the client positioning reaches this point, or FI's positioning reaches this point, or we have negative divergence in the breadth. Okay, I think this will be the point where I'll be more cautious. At this point of time, I'll be seeking for opportunities. Where is it that we can get the opportunities? I think that is what I would try and hunt out for. And in the past many trading sessions, we have learned about different things, like, right, heat map, then scanning through the look back period, then RRG, then RMI scanner, Dow Trend scanner, and of course there are many other technical scanners that we have, like super trend, prices crossing or breaking about 20 SMA, and so on. So you can get those different views, and you can try and find the stocks, which suits your setup. So I think that's what I have for today. If you all have any questions, we can take it up. Deepak says, when can I see a spike in my portfolio of 9 stocks? It's all depends on you know what stocks you have selected. But yes, broadly, uh, see, I have already mentioned that which are the sectors that are looking good now. Supposingly, if you have auto, but within auto, if you have Tata Motors, of course, it is not performing. So so that may not reflect your portfolio. So again, as I mentioned, Deepak, I mean it's all depended on stock picking and what you have done. But I think that I have spoken about the indices. Now see, I'll give you one example. Okay, again, this is not to recommend, but it's all about trying to find a good setup, right? So I think in Friday's trading session I was speaking about amber, because that's where there was a narrow zone consolidation and it was trying to break out. So today it had seen a good move because it was hitting into the list of new highs in the morning. So sorry, over here if I see this template, so I mean the broader point is that you will have to choose stocks where the setups are good, right? So say something like this, amber, okay, where you are seeing a nice consolidation happening within a tight zone, and the RMI has given a bullish crossover. So I would be very excited to see how this performs, because over here, see, you're seeing technically there is a breakout. After a breakout there is a consolidation happening, and in that consolidation the RMI has gone back to the zero and it is now trying to pick up, right? So this is where the expectation will be that, okay, if this is how it is trending, so probably amber should conservatively rise higher within this channel or over here in an optimistic scenario. And that's how I'll try to navigate. I mean, while the sectors that are working, you might have position in those and those might be doing well, but there might be stocks within that may not do well. So it will totally depend on what stocks you are picking. But I've broadly tried to highlight you the framework. So yeah. Hello, how do you select all those indicators? Prasad, can you help me understand which indicators are you talking about? I'll wait for your comment. You can just let me know, which indicators are you talking about? Paul, with this movement, with this moves at the moment revolving around the trade deal. So yes, Paul. I mean, there are a lot of talks that are there. I mean, of the trade deal and so on, and there is a lot of speculation that is happening. But anyways, all I would say is that I'm trying to focus a lot on the price action. So even in Friday's trading session, I had mentioned that the ideal setup would be the Nifty coming back to the 40 and then trying to turn around. And sort of now we have seen this pattern playing out. So that is what I would look at. I would not focus much on the price action. I mean, on the news, and rather focus more on the price action. So yeah, that is what I would be looking. I think if the prices break out, so say for example, if Nifty mid cap and small caps are breaking out and they are sustaining above the breakout and they are following this setup, then I would expect that sooner or later some good news may happen that may accelerate the trend. But I think the price action itself will tell you a lot of story. So rather than trying to hear what the media is saying, because they always have to say something, right? That's their business. So you will see on either side. I mean, when the market falls, so then they will say that the trade deal is not working. When the market rises higher, they'll say trade deal is in progress. And so that way there will be a lot of noise. What I would focus more on is the price action, right? So Sudhir Singh says, I remember you telling that. No, so yeah, so Sudhir, what has happened is that within the index, I mean, so now 100 stocks are being seen at the same time. Say, for example, Nifty 100, over here you will see 100 stocks at the same time. But within the watch list, the restriction is till I think 50 stocks, right? So over there also, we'll later on increase the limit. But for now, we had got many requests of people saying that please include Nifty 100, Nifty small cap 100, Nifty mid cap 100, and so on. So over here you will see all these options over here: Nifty mid cap 100, Nifty small cap 100. So that way you should be able to screen it very easily through RRG. But as I mentioned, I mean, you can see that the charts are very messy over there. So, but yeah, I mean, if it helps you, then you can have a look at it. But at this point of time, like I mentioned, for the index, 100 stocks are visible, but not for the watch list at this point of time. So Paul says it feels like yes, indices may move up, but do you think a sharp correction could come soon? To be very honest, I mean hand on heart, I feel that we should see a good up move, because there is a lot of skepticism in the market, and people are already scared that while the market is at an all time high, their portfolios are seeing cut and so on. uh, so that fear is there, what happens if the market corrects, they will get screwed and so on. I mean, I have been speaking to few people, and that is their concern. But the way the setup is, as I told you, I mean, see, this is where data helps you to be a lot more objective. So every day, frankly, I just come and I see how the medium term setup is playing out in terms of sentiment, right? We had this extreme sentiment on the downside for a very very long time, okay, and that has made people very nervous. But people forget that these are all cycles. uh, to my experience, I mean, what I have seen this data playing out time and again, that they usually go from one extreme to the other extreme. So I would frankly be very patient for all these things to turn around. Now, at this point of time, some of it might even feel like a joke, frankly, that will this happen? Because at some point of time, you would have told people that it is at an extreme, and at some point it can go to 40,000 plus or 60,000 plus. People might laugh at you, but this is not something that cannot happen. History says that it can happen, and I think it should happen. So while all these things eventually plays out, you will end up seeing broadening of breadth sooner or later. That is what frankly my bet would be at this point of time. So will there be a sharp correction? Frankly, I don't think so. If at all it happens, all you need to watch is that are there any important levels that are breaking? For me, those important levels would be that as we are starting to trend higher on the daily chart, and you're seeing the averages also rising higher. So I would expect that at least for now, the moving averages are very important. As long as that does not break on the downside, we are good. So in case of sharp correction, I mean, I don't know what is the definition of sharp correction, but nevertheless, I mean, whichever way the correction happens, if the averages are held, I would think that eventually it will crawl on the upside, and we should be headed higher. Uh, I have already mentioned that if we do all those analysis of when the extreme positioning happens and the up move happens, what are the kind of upside levels that we have seen, eventually. So in that case, on an average, we have seen 15-18% kind of moves playing out. So my expectation would be that only that 15-18% kind of move plays out. And if we do that from the lower end over here, it comes to somewhere around 29-30,000 or so. So I would expect that at least I was doing many other Fibonacci levels and so on. All those are pointing out towards 28,000. So I think 28,000 looks very much possible. From there, we'll see how things unfold. I mean, those are the thoughts at this point of time. Let's see how things play out. So Prasad Deshmukh says in diffusion. So in diffusion, I just clicked over here in the indices section. So over here, see, the way to read this is that you are trying to see percentage of stock about 20 SMA for Nifty 50. If you click over here and if you change it to Nifty 500, then you are seeing percentage of stock about 20 SMA for 500. Similarly, you can do for any of this indicator. If you can see the percentage of stock with RMI buy or whatever it is that you want to see, you will be able to see over here. Okay. You just need to select what index you want to see all this diffusion indicator on. Okay, I hope that's clear, Prasad. Sagar, thanks. Strike for deep data like OI Insights made 8K in SRF. That's great. That's great, Sagar. Good to hear that. Happy for you. GP Kalu says, can we look at the levels for the bank nifty? Cement space is beaten down. Do you see any scope of an up move? Uh, so for bank nifty, first, yes. So over here in Bank Nifty, what is happening is that it is hitting new all-time high. So over here, this looks good. Um, so so yeah, I mean, see, when you are at an all-time high, all you can do is that you can draw trend lines and try to find where will be the upper level. So over here, if I draw these levels, then 59,300 is what the level I get right now. What it does over here. Let's see. Let's see what happens. But yeah, in the near term, this is what it would look like. Now, can it break on the upside and get into a new zone altogether? That can happen, but of course we'll see it at that point of time only. Now your question about cement sector, yes, you're right. I mean, I have been watching this space very closely. There are many stocks that have actually given up. There are some that have not given up. So I think that the sector, I mean, see, over here what we are seeing is that different stocks are doing different stuff. But when I see, say, Ultratech, I don't see any meaningful levels getting broken, because this was a breakout and from there it is consolidating. Even if I see the weekly chart, what I would expect is that a normal correction is going on. Now, yes, if say the 40 week is breaking on the downside and it starts sustaining below that, then I'll be a little worried. Uh, but otherwise it's fine, because see, over here you have to understand why I'll be worried, because in monthly it is in sell, but it is extending from 20 week. Okay, so at this point of time I'll ignore RMI, because the prices are trending higher on 20 month, right? So but if the 40 week breaks on the downside and if it sustains below that, then there is a risk that would open up that a correction may happen till the 20 month, and that's where the risk will lie in the near term. And god knows whether the 20 month will hold or no. So if the 40 week breaks, I mean, that's where as a prudent risk management strategy, ideally you should be very careful, because then there is a risk of the monthly cycle also playing out on the downside, right? So when the prices are in an uptrend and they are respecting the averages, all is good. But when things break on the downside, then you have to be careful. So this is there. Then if you see Sri Shiman, okay, this is also consolidating towards the higher levels. And over here also, if you see, the so in fact, now, sorry, I did not notice this, but Sri Cement, the 40 week is now breaking. I think this will be the ultimate level that I'll be watching out for on the downside. If it breaks and sustains below that, then it will not be a good thing. Then if you see JK Cement, over here the consolidation is happening. But over here, since the 20 week has broken, there is a scope of a correction till 40 week. But if you see JK Cement, it is trending very nicely on the upside. So somewhere over here, if it comes, I would definitely think that there is a meaningful opportunity that could be there. So yeah, so over here, so you will have to look at it, sector by sector. I mean, stock by stock. But there are many interesting, setups that are there. If you see Ramco Cement over here, we had already spoken about this, right? That there was a big breakout from this triangular sort of pattern. After that, there has been a decent correction as well, right? Over here, there has been a decent correction, and now it is trying to rise higher. So I would imagine that if this low holds on the downside on the weekly chart, then there is a potential for it to rise higher. Of course you would need a confirmation of a RMI crossover and all those things, but that's where a good amount of correction has happened in the cement space, and maybe it might look interesting from a slightly more positional kind of view. uh, Hi Jay, how to select the stocks that have demonstrated strong growth over the past 3 years, showing showing signs of continued upward trajectory. So at this point of time, see, we don't have fundamental scanners at this point, but you can anyways look at the heat map and try to find the stocks which are near the 52-week high, right? Because near the 52-week high would be the ones which would be doing fundamentally well as well, correct? So over here you can look at percentage of stocks with 52-week away from 52-week high. Say if you go to Nifty 50, then these are the ones which are literally near the all-time high, right? So I would assume that mostly in this, see, this is all happening because at this point of time we don't have the fundamental scanners. But if you want to scan it, that which are the stocks that are strong, this is one of the way. You can also go to NSC all indices and do the same thing, and the stocks which are coming to which is showing 00. So these are all the ones which are near the 52-week high, and maybe you might find some good opportunities over here. And as I had mentioned earlier, you can end up making a list of this and put it in your watch list. Okay, you create a watch list, you put it in your watch list, then go in the dashboard and go one by one for those stocks and see where is it that you are able to see any opportunity. So say for example, if I do NSC all stocks, think of it that you have created a watch list of new 52-week high, right? And you are simply just clicking over here and seeing how the setups are. And of course you can put your own setup, create a template for that of the indicators that you want, create setup, and then you can simply look at it one by one and you can see if you are able to find any interesting setup. Or you can do the same thing and go to the scanner and select that specific basket, right? Remove everything and select, say, outperforming stocks. Okay, and you can find where is it that a new bullish crossovers are happening, are they interesting or no. So this is how you can simply click and find. Now see, Ashok Leyland has come over here. Bhagyanagar was the one that we were seeing, right, in the 52-week high. So then it will feel like, is it that this breakout has happened, and this breakout has happened with a gap, so need to find if there was some good result posted by this or no. So that is how you can make a watch list and try to find it through different views what is happening. We have given this option of you selecting the basket of whatever watch list you want to see. Okay, so I hope you find that helpful. uh Please share sentiment template you mentioned earlier. How do I get it? So, Patil PR, I have already mentioned this in the past sessions. So, this is something I have made it. Now, I'll just give you an example, right? Over here, if I go, okay, you will have to create a template. So, I will share with you once again the list where. Uh, Strike PPT. So which are the ones? So these are the ones that is visible. That you should think of it from short term perspective, like daily swing, combining these indicators, right? So what I've created over here is a medium term template, which is of client plus FII. This is client, this is FII, this is FI, and this is 20-day AD ratio. Okay, And at this point of time, you can't add diffusion indicator over here, but you will have to go to diffusion indicator and select this to know the medium term perspective. For long term, these are the indicators. For all this, we have made a video also in the help section. And if you want to create a template, you select multiple of them. Now I'm just giving you an example. Okay. So over here, say client plus FII, and I want FII's net position. Okay, so this is what I want: FII net index futures position. Okay, so I have to type over here FII net index future. I click over here. Once I click over here, okay, I will click on this four box and mention save indicator template. So I'll do it as Patil test template. Okay, I save over here. Now each time when I come to the sentiment indicator, okay, I just have to click on that and this template will appear. Okay, so I hope you understood how to create the template. And I am just going to the screen once again, so you can see over here, right, which is the, I mean, this is the template that you need to know. In case if you miss it, just go back to the YouTube video, or just check around 40 minutes, because we have started at 11. So at after 40 minutes you will be able to see it. Just pause it and create the template that way. Okay, I hope that's clear to you. Uh, The reason I asked, because small and the mid caps are not are yet to catch up, and large caps are moving up. So for which, yeah, Paul, I totally understand. So I think the views are very divided at this point of time. So the ones who are not optimistic, they are giving that reason. But that is what I'm saying, that when I look at the data, that is what it feels like. That I think that eventually the catch up should happen, because there is still a lot of pessimism. So let's see how things play out. Prasad, yes, thanks, Jay. Could you please share the episode of Buying Big? Finally revealed. Okay, so yes, I think it should be uploaded today. I'm not sure if it's already uploaded, but it should get uploaded today or by tomorrow. So over here, when you go to Strike Money, just go to the video. So I think it will be uploaded today, so you will be able to see on Strike Money, and then just go to videos, and this will be uploaded today. Okay, I'll just check with the team how to expand the screen on the right. So over here, basically what you have to do is that you have to click on this four arrows. Okay, see this arrow, if you click, the trading view chart will open, and this will be of no use to you because you can't do anything. You will have to click on this four arrows. Okay, with this the screen gets expanded, right? If you want to minimize it, just click over here and minimize it, right? So if you click over here, it will expand, and after being expanded, you click over here once again, it will minimize. Okay, I hope that I hope you are able to understand this. Sir, in portfolio there is 72% stock which are large caps, but according to the index growth are not the same. Why the company balance sheet and the quarterly growth are also good but no result? Mm, I I don't know. Frankly, I'm not a fundamental guy. I know some basic stuff, uh, but that's about it. But what I could gather was that for FY26 there was a 12-13% growth that was expected, which was then toned down to 9%, and now it seems that the second quarter results are coming better than expected. And please understand, in fundamental analysis or something, when something happens, you again move to the next quarter, I mean next financial year. So in next financial year, what I was hearing, that the uh, valuations are reasonable and so on. So I think that's where the trigger is. And also what is happening is that, I don't know how many of y'all have noticed this, but if you see the global markets, they are on tear. So now what is happening is that India is becoming relatively an underperformer. Okay. You see Nikkei, there is a one-way move on the upside. So just to show you the daily chart, and you can see how strongly it is trending, right? You see any other index, I think, let me show you Taiwan index. This is Taiwan index, right? You see any index, they are trending higher and they are rising higher. So that's where, the good part is that the Nifty index has not caught up to that extent, right? So I also feel that eventually there should be a catch up that we should see in Nifty index. And anyways, the expectation is very low from the Indian companies at this point of time. So I think there should be a catch up, and if they surprise result on the upside, it should get rewarded. You're already seeing many of the stocks that are hitting new highs, and they are hitting new highs, and in many of the cases the breakouts are also happening, right? Like I showed you over here, you can see this Shriram Finance breakout is happening. There is already a rumor that, some MNCs want to pick up stake over here. I'm not sure whether that is done or not, but those are the rumors. Then, you can see Hindalco, though we have been talking about for quite some time. Basically, all the metal stocks, they are hitting new highs. So what I would say is that just stick to the outperformers. Sooner or later the news will follow. That is what I have seen happening in the past as well. So yeah, okay, thank you guys. Prasad says, I need to understand how can I see all the strike functions in Strike mobile app. So far we have not built the mobile app. We are in the process of doing that. It might take some time, Prasad. As of now, we don't have a uh, we don't have the mobile app at this point of time. My return is 118%, but it's in range. So that's nice. You should start the fund management, Sagar, because I don't think anyone would have done 118%, but that's great. I mean, that's awesome. Uh, I mean, that's phenomenal return, frankly. So, anyways, great. Happy for you that you are doing well. So, yeah, and I hope Strike is helping you in doing that. So, our Singali, yeah. So at this point of time, we don't have those things. It is purely equity, and within equity, we are just looking at the NSE stocks only at this point of time. At some point, we'll integrate BSC, and then later on, we'll build onto the system. Uh, but yeah, at this point of time, we don't have the other stuff in Strike. So fine. I think this has been a long session. It's 11:48. Always good to answer your questions, and I hope that you all continue to do well, and I hope the Strike platform is helping you to be a more seamless in your analysis. So once again, thanks for all the support all this while, and let's keep doing this live session and start and learn from each other. So that's it for today. Let's catch up tomorrow, and let's see how things play out. So once again, thanks a lot, and see you tomorrow.